in your community, and I'm not going to, and one of them we've talked about, and I can't remember his name, but he was a prominent Cherokee person in the earlier days, and then Mrs. Granny Sweet, we called her.
Oh yes, Ethel Sweet.
Yes, Granny Sweet. I remember her coming to our house one time. I think she had a problem child, and she came to my father for some help.
Now, I know some of her children, and so I won't say any names. Some of them have held public office.
but I can remember her coming to our house to see my father because of a problem, because of a child. She wanted to talk to my father about one of her children. And then there was a man who lived there, and I cannot remember his name. He lived on the left side of the road, and he always wore a hat, and he smoked a cigar.
Now, left side, would that be left side coming from Nowata?
The northern side, north side.
North side.
Going back east.
Okay.
Back east.
In town?
Well, it was a little outside. It was a
Okay.
little outside.
I can't quite picture who that is.
Well, I can't think of who it is, but he always wore a big hat, and he smoked a cigar, and he was but he was also a friend of my father's.
I can tell you, Ethel Sweet, Granny Sweet, as everybody in the community called her. She was not my granny, but she was everybody's granny. She was. She always seemed like she was elder. She had a lot of kids when she was. She and her husband. I think, if I remember right, her husband's name was Orlando, which is a really cool name. You don't hear that very often. Orlando Sweet, and they had a lot of children, 8 or 10 children, and Orlando somehow did not have a friend at the draft board because he had 8 children, and he was drafted into World War II.
That
Typically,
may be why she called him my dad.
that was not a normal thing for you to have a lot of to be that stage in life and get drafted, but he was. Ethel, I don't remember anybody in that family ever talking ill of it, just saying that it was an unusual thing to happen. Granny lived right there, just 2 or 3 houses east of the feed mill in Tallulah. And she truly did know every child in that town. She worked very much in the Baptist church. She taught Sunday school. And if you were at her house, she was feeding you. She was always had the tea on and the cookies ready. And she was always working with her hands on sewing projects. She made Barbie doll clothes. And she gifted Barbie doll clothes to everybody